Leaving that place, I staggered into the palace of Laozi, and finished up all the elixir stored in 5 gourds. I was afraid that the Jade Emperor would be offended, and so I decided to walk out of the Heaven Gate. The various monsters were delighted by these words, and they prepared a banquet of fruits and wine to welcome him. A stone bowl was filled with coconut wine and presented to the great sage, who took a mouthful and then exclaimed with a grimace, "It tastes awful. Just awful." The great sage, said Beng and Ba, the 2 commanders, has grown accustomed to tasting divine wine and food in heaven. Small wonder that coconut wine now seems hardly delectable. But the proverb says, tasty or not, it's water from home. And all of you are, related or not, people from home, said the great sage. When I was enjoying myself this morning at the Jasper Pool, I saw many jars and jugs in the corridor full of the juices of jade, which you have never savored. Let me go back and steal a few bottles to bring down here. Just drink half a cup, and each one of you will live long without growing old. The various monkeys could not contain their delight. The great sage immediately left the cave and, with one somersault, went directly back to the Festival of Immortal Peaches, again using the magic of body concealment. As he entered the doorway of the palace of the Jasper Pool, he saw that the winemakers, the grain mashers, the water carriers, and the fire tenders were still asleep and snoring. He took 2 large bottles, one under each arm, and carried 2 more in his hands. Reversing the direction of his cloud, he returned to the monkeys in the cave. They held their own festival of immortal wine, with each one drinking a few cups, which incident we shall relate no further. Now we tell you about the 7 gown immortal maidens, who did not find a release from the great sage's magic of immobilization until a whole day had gone by. Each one of them then took her flower basket and reported to the Queen Mother, saying, "We are delayed because the great sage, equal to heaven, imprisoned us with his magic." "How many baskets of immortal peaches have you gathered?" asked the Queen Mother. "Only 2 baskets of small peaches, and 3 of medium-sized peaches," said the immortal maidens. "For when we went to the back of the grove, there was not even half a large one left. We think the great sage must have eaten them all. As we went looking for him, he unexpectedly made his appearance and threatened us with violence and beating. He also questioned us about who had been invited to the banquet, and we gave him a thorough account of the last festival. It was then that he bound us with a spell, and we didn't know where he went. It was only a moment ago that we found release and so could come back here." When the Queen Mother heard these words, she went immediately to the Jade Emperor and presented him with a full account of what had taken place. Before she finished speaking, the group of winemakers together with the various divine officials also came to report. "Someone unknown to us has vandalized the Festival of Immortal Peaches. The juice of jade, the 8 dainties, and the 100 delicacies have all been stolen or eaten up." 4 royal preceptors then came up to announce, "The Supreme Patriarch of Tao has arrived." The Jade Emperor went out with the Queen Mother to greet him. Having paid his respects to them, Laozi said, "There are, in the house of this old Taoist, some finished golden elixir of 9 turns, which are reserved for the use of your majesty during the next grand festival of Cinnabar. Strange to say, they have been stolen by some thief, and I have come specifically to make this known to your majesty." This report stunned the Jade Emperor. Presently the officials from the Equal to Heaven residence came to announce kowtowing. "The great sage Sun has not been discharging his duties of late. He went out yesterday and still has not yet returned. Moreover, we do not know where he went." These words gave the Jade Emperor added anxiety. Next came the great immortal of naked feet, who prostrated himself and said, "Yesterday, in response to the Queen Mother's invitation, your subject was on his way to attend the festival when he met by chance the great sage, Equal to Heaven. The sage said to your subject that your majesty had ordered him to send your subject first to the Hall of Perfect Light for a rehearsal of ceremonies before attending the banquet. Your subject followed his direction and duly went to the hall. But I did not see the dragon chariot and the phoenix carriage of your majesty, and therefore hastened to come here to wait upon you." More astounded than ever, the Jade Emperor said, "This fellow now falsifies imperial decrees and deceives my worthy ministers. Let the divine minister of detection quickly locate his whereabouts." The minister received his order and left the palace to make a thorough investigation. After obtaining all the details, he returned presently to report. The person who has so profoundly disturbed heaven is none other than the great sage, equal to heaven. He then gave a repeated account of all the previous incidents, and the Jade Emperor was furious. He at once commanded the 4 great Devarajas to assist Devaraja Li and Prince Na-A. Together, they called up the 28 constellations, the 9 luminaries, the 12 horary branches, the fearless guards of 5 quarters, the 4 temporal guardians, the stars of east and west, the gods of north and south, the deities of the 5 mountains and the 4 rivers, the star spirits of the entire heaven, and 100,000 celestial soldiers. They were ordered to set up 18 sets of cosmic net, to journey to the region below, to encircle completely the flower fruit mountain, and to capture the rogue and bring him to justice. All the deities immediately alerted their troops and departed from the heavenly palace. As they left, this was the spectacle of the expedition. Yellow with dust. The churning wind concealed the darkening sky. Reddish with clay, the rising fog o'erlaid the dusky world. Because an impish monkey insulted the highest Lord. The saints of all heaven descended to this mortal earth. Those 4 great Devarajas. Those fearless guards of 5 quarters. Those 4 great Deva kings made up the main command. Those fearless guards of 5 quarters moved countless troops. Li, the pagoda bearer, gave orders from the army's center, with the fierce Na-A as the captain of his vanward forces. The star of Rahu, at the forefront, made the roll call. The star of Ketu, noble and tall, brought up the rear. Soma, the moon, displayed a spirit most eager. Aditya, the sun, was all shining and radiant. Heroes of special talents were the stars of 5 phases. The 9 luminaries most relished a good battle. The horary branches of Zi, Wu, Mao, and Yao. They were all celestial guardians of titanic strength. To the east and west, the 5 plagues and the 5 mountains. To the left and right, the 6 gods of darkness and the 6 gods of light. Above and below, the dragon gods of the 4 rivers. And in tightest formation, the 28 constellations. Citra, Svati, Visakha, and Anuradha were the captains. Revati, Asvini, Apabara, I, and K-tika knew combat well. Uttara A, Adha, Abhijit, Srava, A, Sraviha, Purva Pro, Hapada, Uttara Pro Hapada. Rohi, I, Mulabarha, I, Purva, A Adha, everyone an able star. Punarvasu, T, Ya, Al, A, Mega, Purva Falguni, Uttara Falguni, and Asta. All brandished swords and spears to show their power. Stopping the cloud and lowering the mist, they came to this mortal world, and pitched their tents before the mountain of flower and fruit. The poem says, "The heaven-born monkey king who can change a lot, steals wine and elixir to joy in his mountain lair, since he spoiled the feast of the immortal peach. 100,000 heaven troops spread the net of God." Devaraja Li now gave the order for the celestial soldiers to pitch their tents, and a cordon was drawn so tightly around the flower fruit mountain that not even water could escape. Moreover, 18 sets of cosmic net were spread out above and below the region, and the 9 luminaries were then ordered to go into battle. They led their troops and advanced to the cave, in front of which they found a troop of monkeys, both great and small, prancing about playfully. "Little monsters over there!" cried one of the star spirits in a severe voice. "Where is your great sage? We are heavenly deities sent here from the region above to subdue your rebellious great sage. Tell him to come here quickly and surrender. If he but utters half a no, all of you will be executed." Hastily the little monsters reported inside. "Great sage, disaster! Disaster! Outside there are 9 savage deities who claim that they are sent from the region above to subdue the great sage. Our great sage was just sharing the heavenly wine with the 4 mighty commanders and the monster kings of 72 caves. Hearing this announcement, he said in a most nonchalant manner, "If you have wine today, get drunk today. Mind not the troubles in front of your door." Scarcely had he uttered this proverb when another group of imps came leaping and said, "Those 9 savage gods are trying to provoke battle with foul words and nasty language. Don't listen to them," said the great sage, laughing. "Let us seek today's pleasure in poetry and wine, and cease asking when we may achieve glory or fame." Hardly had he finished speaking when still another flock of imps arrived to report, "Father, those 9 savage gods have broken down the door and are about to fight their way in." "These reckless, witless gods," said the great sage angrily. "They really have no manners. I was not about to quarrel with them. Why are they abusing me to my face?" He gave the order for the one-horned demon king to lead the monster kings of 72 caves to battle, adding that Old Monkey and the 4 mighty commanders would follow in the rear.